What is up, everybody? This is Mark the Mike, and this is another The MorphinCast by Red Cyclone Inc. I'm Mark the Mike, I'm joined by Tenacious T.
You know I am in the building.
And we got another revisit for you of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers American stuff.
Guys, ladies and gentlemen.
So, before we get into this, let's take a sip of this, because this is going to be a very tough cast to get through.
So, I had to, in my adventures of finding IPAs out there, I knew that this one was going to be a tough cast.
Yeah.
A tough show to get through.
So,
because of our first time going through.
You know what's funny? All right, so from now on, we got to pick a beer to fit the
Fit the
season.
bill?
To fit the season.
Fit the season, okay.
So we got to find the beer to fit the season.
So, if you guys do not know what show we are talking about Operation Overdrive.
Yeah.
And if I were you, I would go and listen to our original review of the show because we fucking hate it.
I feel like we're going to go right back into the things that we did not dislike about the show. And the sad thing is the fact that we previewed the Sentai.
Today.
And the first episode already
is captivating. It's amazing.
Yeah,
it's
it kind of got me. We saw someone get bitch slapped, and that sold me.
Well, he has really fucked up teeth, so he kind of deserved to get bitch slapped.
Yeah. So Operation Overdrive is today's cast. We'll be revisiting. We will be having.
It's an IPA from a company called Grimm, and it's called Maximum Happiness.
Maximum Happiness, because this season was very depressing.
It's Operation Overdrive, but it's Underdrive for me. Okay.
So, yeah, I guess we'll do that, because this is more of an adult podcast, in that sense. We do drink beers.
All
and
of our previous casts, we've been drinking IPAs. Like
Lagunitas was the main one.
It's our unsponsored sponsors.
Unsponsored
I'm still waiting for my keychain. Okay?
Keychain. You gotta find them and be like, hey, listen. But so I guess we'll open up the show and we'll probably kind of introduce a beer that we see that can match the season.
I'm with that.
So
fully.
Maximum Happiness for Operation Overdrive.
Underdrive.
The Underdrive. Anyway, cheers. It smells sweeter than it tastes.
Yeah, 100%. But it's not bad.
It's not bad at all.
It's a mosaic and cashmere.
Okay.
I don't know what the fuck that means, but
mosaic.
Okay. Yeah, mosaic and cashmere.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the can is very beautiful.
Yeah.
Might I add. But
it's all
yeah, it's kind of bland.
Yeah.
It doesn't make me happy. It kind of fits the bill for this fucking.
A bunch of disappointment.
It looks and smells good, but it's
a
right.
disappointment.
It's not as what I thought it was.
Anyway, Operation Overdrive. I'll give you the little synopsis. I'll give you the little things that we go through and everything like that. So, Operation Overdrive is the 15th season of Power Rangers. We got 32 episodes.
Thankfully.
It aired February 26, 2007, ended November 12th. 2007. I believe this is the last season. No, it was not.
Of what, Disney?
No, this was the last season that aired on ABC.
What channel was ABC?
7,
right? Yeah.
So I think this was the last season that aired on there,
now,
and then the rest was
ABC 7 everywhere else outside of New York?
Well, it'll be ABC.
Okay.
So, like when ABC used to have their cartoons on Saturday morning, this was the last Power Rangers season that aired on that.
I just know in New York it was Channel 7. I don't know if in another state.
Over here it's Channel 7 as well.
It was different.
In New York.
Yes, in New York.
And that's what matters.
New York.
Yeah. It's TV7. Power Rangers has always been TV7. This is also Disney. This will be the Force, SPD. So this would be the number 5 of Disney's run. Yeah. Number 5 of Disney's run. Again, 15th anniversary of Power Rangers as well. So we talk about probably the best episode that they had, which is Once a Ranger.
So now this is off the mantle of an equally not as good season of Mystic Force.
Yes.
So this to me really is starting to show that Disney really doesn't understand how to showcase what Sentai has done. We went off of SPD, which is an ultimate high, which is in our ranking number one. Arguably number one. I completely believe that SPD is number one, and then it dramatically drops to
it's crazy because again we started Wild Force. Wild Force was then Ninja Storm. So we had hit after hit after hit, and then the decline.
Yeah, and it's like this is like a bottom low. This is like you face planted in the ground.
Yeah. And
I tried my best to find things that I like about it.
Yeah.
But I don't.
We tried. Like there's I will say the 100%. There's probably a lot less positive than negative. A lot less negative than positive.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna think as we go.
Okay. So pretty much in the theme song, when you listen, honestly, when you open up this cast, you're going to hear the theme song. Listen to the theme song. That's pretty much the synopsis of the show.
Yes, but.
But they lied. It's not in 5 days. They didn't do shit in 5 days.
5 ways and 5 trays and.
That's a Biggie.
5 gems and.
Biggie will love that because he used to be the man of 5. He used to do the 5 count.
It's so bad, man. Yeah. I'm sorry.
All right, so here we go. Many years ago, 2 brothers named Furious and Moltor tried to steal a legendary crown known as the Corona Aurora and are imprisoned throughout the galaxy. Sentinel Knight scattered the crown and its jewels on the planet Earth in hopes of preventing it from falling in the wrong hands. So he pretty much Affinity Gauntlet this shit and broke the places and everywhere else.
It's kind of like that.
Yeah. In the present day, world renowned explorer Andrew Harford uncovers the crown, which flees Furious and Moltor from their imprisonment. Andrew recruits 4 elite teenagers to become power. So, okay, I'm already have an issue.
The red flag is already up.
So you have a teenager doing espionage.
Yes, but now the thing is with that. He's a teenager doing espionage, right? But
what's the excuse?
What the fuck? Like, how did he become that? You know what I mean? Like, he's a teenager. Your ass should be in fucking school.
So
not running around the globe pretending to be Mission Impossible. Yeah. And don't get me wrong, I think that he probably was the best ranger out of all of them. But like the logic behind that, like I can't believe that.
I'm just saying, if they're not teenagers, they can't be teenagers. Maybe the robot kid, but
they shouldn't. Well, he's an infant. If you really
because they all have like your careers and jobs. Like if you're kind of going teenager, I don't like that teenager word in there. So
yeah, well, 18 and 19 is still a teenager.
Yeah, you're an adult though.
You know, but a teenager is like 13.
You hear
17.
You hear teenager, you think high school or junior high school or some shit. You don't hear college.
No, I.
Anyway,
he was a dropout.
Dropouts.
He was probably
and then started sniping people.
I mean,
nah, he didn't snipe you. He wasn't that cool.
He had some moments. He had some cool moments.
All right, so we'll start off. What we do? Start off with our Rangers. We have the Red Overdrive Ranger, James McCullen. We have Black Overdrive Ranger, Samuel Bennett. We have Blue Overdrive Ranger, Garth Yoon. Oh, I'm saying the actor's name.
I know. I was gonna say.
Yeah. So Mac, Red Overdrive. Will was the black. Dax was blue. Ronnie was yellow, and Rose was pink. And then you had Tyzone as Mercury.
You know what's funny is that I truly only remembered Mac's name and Tyzone's name.
Tyzone.
Everyone else, I really didn't like. It's one ear after the other. It just shows you how it did not grip. And this is my second time.
I'm trying to see if I know Rose.
Oh, that's the Pink Ranger.
Yeah, I remember her name.
And I think I remember that because of the episode with Tyzone when he's trying to get her to trying to figure her out a little bit. Because so her background, she's like this smart girl.
Yeah.
Who does she reads a lot of books and does she knows a lot of shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, and she's cute. I thought she was cute. She had her strong moments.
Yeah, the Rangers themselves, they didn't really have there was no charisma within the team. There was so this is something I'm going to bring up really fast and bring up. This is probably the worst acted Power Rangers series.
Yeah. They overacted, underacted, and they had no chemistry between the actors.
Yes.
Like they probably were just thrown on set like, this is your cue.
Yeah.
Say this. You know, like they didn't spend time together.
Yeah.
You can tell.
Yeah. I agree. Like it felt off. It felt like they didn't really have no chemistry. So kind of throws off the story because you're hearing these people. They just sound like they're saying lines instead of actually being in part of the show, kind of thing. Like being in a story, they just feel like they're saying lines. Like, "Oh my, the monster is coming. How should I hide?
I'll get him."
Yeah, and then it's also like the same tropes of Power Rangers that everyone has to say something when they morph, or every time they go lock in, they have to say something.
I love.
And these are the tropes that are just like again going through this again, and they're just starting to get me annoyed-ish.
What is with Disney and the damn fucking cell phone as a morpher?
Well, that's not Disney's choice. They use whatever the Sentai is using.
I understand that, but
yeah,
what is the cell phone morpher? At this time, 2007?
Yeah.
Cell phones are a regular thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can understand cell phones being in like 2001, 2002. Like, I didn't have a cell phone until I was 18 years old. And that was back in 2004. And that was a rare thing.
Yeah.
So, I still it's not cool to me.
Yeah. So, yeah, the Rangers weren't that great. Like, Will, say, probably was the most interesting.
Yeah, no, he was...
He had some decent story.
Dax, his name is. I think that he was probably...
Blue Ranger?
He was probably the wackest one.
He was the most annoying.
He had one of the most... He had the dumbest episode.
Yeah.
And it was in the very, very beginning. And we'll talk about it in the episode segment, but... He just, from the beginning, shit the bed.
Yeah. I didn't like him at all. He was too goofy, or I felt like he overreacted everything he did, or he was a little too goofy, or he was a little too sad and depressed and shit like that, depending on what he was fucking doing or what he got denied of. The girls were okay, but they weren't, like... They didn't really stand out. I liked Rose, but even she didn't really stand out to a character that I enjoyed.
Was really faded in the back.
I honestly, again, if you would have told me her name was Ronnie, I would have no clue.
No. And she was a race car driver.
Yeah.
When the fuck did she... I think she raced in one episode.
Yeah.
Which, like...
I think this is something you brought up in the first cast that we did
that's
this.
The only reason why I'm saying it.
That she raced it in the first episode, but no one was there. And no one was there to give her the trophy. She's just like holding the trophy by her damn self. That was exactly what you said.
In what we've seen in other previous seasons is that there is some type of level of normal life that they live.
Yeah.
Like this season has been nothing but them doing Power Ranger stuff.
Yeah.
They never had I think they had a picnic once.
Yeah.
And that got spoiled before they even had it. Like there was no
there was no outside
of them having fun or camaraderie. There was no them going to like an amusement park or them throwing a party. You know what I mean, like a Halloween party or something like that.
Which also loses the interest in the characters as well because you don't see them actually acting themselves. They see them always
wants to see
kind of working
business the whole time.
Yeah.
Which also makes me feel like they're not teenagers.
Yeah, they're not teenagers. I don't think they are. They're too old. They all look too old. The dude's doing espionage. That takes years.
He must have been Cody Banks.
Yeah. We had the Sentinel Knight, which comes in later.
Which was stupid.
He was just, again, he was like a annoying Infinity Gauntlet because he had all the controls.
Well, he was a blur, right?
Yeah.
He was just a blurry dude.
Yeah. And then he became a big gold statue thing.
Yeah. It started off as a sword.
Yeah.
But does that make any sense to anybody out there right now?
No.
It's dumb.
We had Andrew Harford, which was pretty much like the mentor. He was the father of the Red Ranger. Well, he made the Red Ranger. He's pretty much like the Frankenstein.
I want to know what excavator or he was kind of like, and I know I said this in the first time, but he was like Indiana Jones kind of guy.
Yeah.
Like he was a billionaire.
Yeah, so this is pretty much like, again, like if you National Treasure, Indiana Jones, this is kind of what the season went with. Like last season was Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings. This was National Treasure, Indiana Jones, and all that stuff. So you had him, Spencer, which was the butler, which I'll say that he was probably a highlight character because he was funny.
Relief of the torment that we were going through.
Yeah, yes. And then
which he was kind of like a master of disguise.
Yeah.
You know, he was turtle.
Turtle. Anyway. Yeah, the Rangers didn't have much camaraderie, so there's not a lot to really say that really stood out with them because they were kind of boring.
Yeah, there's really not much more to say about them.
They were just really dry. It's like watching paint dry when you hear them talk to each other. It wasn't good. It wasn't like that. And honestly, the only time that we actually had camaraderie with Rangers is like a first time team up with a bunch of Rangers.
I mean, granted, I will give them this. Andrew Harford just pulled these guys together.
Yeah.
Randomly, out of the blue. And you can't expect them all to be buddy-buddy, even though within one episode they're like, we're a team. Like, there was no question.
Like, I understand, like, I guess he paid them to be a team. Like, he was paying them and shit like that.
Yeah, because I remember Will tried to hand in his resignation.
Yeah. But the also thing is, like, when you have a team like that, you kind of want them to get along, so let them have free time with each other.
I would have rather them bump heads.
Yeah.
Because it would show...
Or at least show some...
a difference between them and them growing together as the show grows.
I think the only time you saw butt heads is Will with Andrew and not any of the Rangers.
Well... He
had his moments here and there, but it was like there was, I think there would have been more interesting with conflict at least.
Yeah, it would have added better to a story.
Yeah.
If they're like, all right, maybe they had their own little egos.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the smart girl is overly smart. Like I got this, and Will's
smarty
like,
pants.
I'm the alpha.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And Ronnie is her name. You know that she's like the go-getter girl. You know what I mean? Like, and then Will being the not Will, Mac being the novice, like the sensitive one, and
I'm getting on
Dax
him because you don't know much.
Confused. Like I already just made the show better.
Yeah. Like again, I think conflict, or at least just camaraderie, we didn't even get that. So, I'll say one of the highlights is the suits. I think the suits are dope.
Oh yeah, besides the silver things on the shoulders.
Yeah.
I could have lived without those.
Yeah.
They're like cufflinks for your shoulders.
Yeah.
That really don't. What do they fucking protect your collarbone?
The shoulder.
No, it's right here. It's right on the collarbone. It's not on the clavicle like that. It's really small. It's not. It's pointless.
You know, I think it is like reflectors.
Yeah, so they can fight at nighttime and not get hit by a car.
Well, they're all supposed to be construction vehicles and shit.
Yeah.
So.
Literally, the first episode of Sentai, the suits.
Yeah, they used the light.
Even better.
They used the flashlight on their head.
I know. Yo, but I really like the helmets because they're actually very simple.
Yeah.
They're very motorcycle-ish.
Yes, I agree with that.
You know what I mean? And they have a VR Trooper feel to it.
Yeah, they look like the black kid from VR Trooper.
I think the best suit was Taizan.
Taizan
had the best one, especially when he's in the Zord.
Yeah.
Just because you know that Sentai footage, and Sentai footage is just really good.
Yeah.
And I know I've mentioned this to you before the cast started, but in this whole season, I don't recall one moment in time where you saw the actor in the suit with the helmet off.
Nah, we didn't get that, and I'm thinking about it too, and like I don't recall it at all.
So to me, I'm thinking like maybe the chemistry wasn't there with the actors because they were probably dramatically underpaid.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Fuck this show."
Yeah. And then there's also like also like you could see that they shied away a lot with the Sentai footage. Like you could see that there was a lot of American battles because those are the ones that are kind of boring.
Yeah.
And usually the Sentai battles are a bit more action packed. Like if you see just tossing and like jumping, then that's usually American stuff. And yeah, I feel like they try to add their own like stuff to it, but it wasn't. Again,
I don't believe you.
It's gonna be a negative cast because there's not a lot to really pick up on.
We're not gonna go dramatically into details.
No.
If you guys want the detailed version of our review, go and check out the original cast.
Yes.
Because that's where we go in depth, like hardcore.
Yes. The villains. You have the Evil Alliance with Thrax and Virtus. We had the Florius and his Florius forces with Florius, Chillers, and Monsters. Chillers was the
putties of it.
Yeah, the Chillers were the putties.
But they were barely in it too.
Yeah. And then there was like a gang battle.
You know, I like the way, because there wasn't really too many like monsters. It wasn't like an episode of monsters all day.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Where it showcased one thing. Like I'll give them that. Like there was a lot of hands-on with Florius and Moltor.
Yes.
They did a lot of shit. And I don't recall my original thought of the way they looked, but watching this second time around, I thought they visually looked dope.
The monsters, I think that was one of our highlights of the thing. With the looks of the monsters. Yeah. They actually looked really dope. Like the fire one looked pretty dope. Moltor. And he's supposed to look like what I got from the original, from like not like just a couple like videos and stuff like that. They were supposed to look like past Megazords or past Zords, as in Moltor looked kind of like the Red Dragon Dinosaur, and like a mix of that and the original Mighty Morphin.
What was now Moltor? I think it was. Was it Lost Galaxy, the main villain in Lost Galaxy, that he kind of looked like? I don't know. He just looked very familiar.
Yeah.
And Florius was definitely 100% American.
Yeah. He looked like
Do you see the gooey dreads in the back of his head?
Yeah, you know what he looked like? He looked like Gary Busey.
He does look
like a frozen Gary Busey.
Well, in the cast, I also mentioned like the similarities between that and It Was a Year Without a Santa Claus.
Yeah.
And it's the two brothers
that
are polar opposites.
Yeah,
it's
the fire and ice.
The fire, which is the South Pole.
Yeah.
Which is not factual because the South Pole is just as cold as the North Pole. But you know what I mean? It's
South
like
Pole.
them battling. Now they were actually humanoids before this, and they got cursed because they went after the crown, Corona Aurora, and then they turned into these beings, and then they hated each other because Florius broke Moltor's sled. Yeah. So dumb.
Yeah.
But I love Norbs, whatever.
Norbs is great.
When he went to him and was like, I'm happy he broke your sled. He's like, get out of here. That was funny. Which he was the highlight of the show.
Yes, me. Which is a returning actor, Anderson. What was his first name? Something Anderson.
Yeah, well, we got it right here.
I forget his name.
I don't even see
anyway.
Yep.
Find his name and then I'll go.
I'll find it.
But there was a bunch of it was pretty much gang wars with the villains, like Mortor forces. Then you had Florius' forces. Then you had Camdor's forces, and then you had Fear Cats. You had everyone like gang fighting each other. The Fear Cats were pretty dope. I actually liked their suits a lot, and they were actually fun characters. Didn't care for the girl at the Camdor. Yeah.
This Norbs.
Yes.
Which he was the tech dude in SPD.
Yeah. And he was
Orange Ranger, the honorary Orange Ranger.
He was Orange Ranger. He's in a lot of series. He's in Ninja Steel. He's in.
Well, he became a recurring, like an alumni. People liked him, but I know he was the voice of something else. He was the voice of somebody.
He was the Troll in Mystic Force.
Yeah, he was the Troll in Mystic Force, which was awesome.
He
just shows his range of as an actor.
He does a bunch of different characters and stuff like that, and even till current, he's in a lot of the new shows still.
Good.
So he's still there.
He's cool shit. I like him.
But yes, pretty much the villains were like a gang war, and pretty much they were all trying to get the same thing. The Fear Cats were cool. I actually liked them. I thought their suits were pretty dope, and I liked the fact that they had like their own Zord and shit. I didn't like the trick, Miratrix. I didn't like her that much.
It's funny because in the original cast, you called her Miralax.
Miralax.
Which, if anybody knows, it's like a castor oil for constipation. She
almost the same.
Listen, she looked like they were trying to make her samurai-ish, as like she had the same like outfit as like Sub-Zero and like Scorpion.
Yeah.
But you trash the whole time.
She wasn't good.
She was trying to free this dude that was in this crystal.
Yeah.
He was banished into a crystal, which I forget his whole backstory because he just was not intriguing.
No, he wasn't
at all.
He just looked cool. The blue dude looked cool.
Yeah, he looked cool, but like the whole them two, it was like
he's got the ass handed to them half the time.
Not good.
Yeah, I liked the Fear Cats.
Fear Cats was badass.
Yes, I liked the Fear Cats a lot.
Fear Cats was awesome, and Hasbro, I would love to get a 2-pack of them.
I like the Fear Cats. I wouldn't mind these Rangers either, just because I like the suits.
I would like a Norg.
I like a Norg too.
A Norg would be awesome.
Norg would be cool. Yeah. So that's most of it with the villains. Is again Fear Cats were cool. I like it was pretty much gang wars.
That other Fear Cat, the third one that got introduced later.
Yeah.
Valtrex.
Valtrex, yeah.
It's not Valtrex because Valtrex
is a
herpes medication.
Have you just named no medical kit? It felt like it.
It felt like it.
You had Ming, you had Benglo, you had Cheetar, you had Cesar, and you had robots.
Caesar. Yeah,
Caesar.
So, what was funny about Caesar is that Caesar just appeared. Caesar and Tyzon have a tie together.
Yeah.
So Tyzon is this alien from another planet.
Which Tyzon.
And he was like cursed and was looking like a reptile. And it's one of those stupid episodes. Like I always hate the Power Ranger episodes when there's like a good monster and you have to trust me, I'm good. And, and you know, like Mac is like, I know him, like I trust him, and then he ends up becoming like he has to do something bad to be good, and it's just typical trash. And then he ends up being this guy who you put it so cleverly. He looks like the main character in America.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
He looks like the main character in Team America.
Yeah, he looks just like him, 1,000%. Looks plastic and everything.
Yeah.
He doesn't look real.
The square jaw and everything.
Yeah, exactly. That was hilarious when you told me that. Because like you couldn't have been more on point with that.
He made him more interesting.
Yeah, no, you know, I didn't hate him.
I didn't like his overacting, but him as a ranger and like him actually fighting, I didn't mind it.
I kind of understand the overacting aspect of him because he is an alien, a new place, trying to mesh in. Which I guess his life and the way they are and being with kind of like we would be monotone to them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, to where he's from. But he was definitely
loud.
an overactor.
He'd be scared of us.
I don't know. I don't like his face.
I don't think we would be able to hang out with him.
No, not at all.
You'll steal his marker.
Asking me what I ate for breakfast when I was 8 years old?
Yeah.
I don't fucking know. I know that when I ate
Cheerios.
I was 8, I ate scrambled eggs, and it turned my stomach to the point that I don't eat scrambled eggs today.
And then he wants
unless it has ketchup on it. And I love my ketchup.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like him. We would have stole his metal detector at least.
He looked good as a ranger though.
Yeah, the ranger suit was actually pretty cool, and it was like very shiny, and also kind of had like the safety, like strips. Yeah. So like the highlight strips, like basically you're working in construction.
I thought his fighting scenes. I thought he was the better fighter out of all of them.
Yeah, and I actually liked his weapon. That weapon looked actually pretty cool, even though it was like a metal detector and shit.
His backstory is like he was on a planet and he's fighting the Fear Cats.
Yeah.
And Valtrex, which I'll just leave it as Valtrex.
Yeah. She just makes you lose constipation.
No, that's Miralax.
Miralax.
Valtrex is when you got a bum bum.
He felt like a bump.
So, like, he's got a girlfriend, and then, Cave breaks in. He thinks the girl's dead. Just, like, it's just such a bite off of Doggy Kruger.
Yeah.
Thinking that his girl's dead the whole time, and he never even bothers to look for her.
He did not. He thought he was free.
Yes, but there was that one episode that Fear Cat tried to play it off like she was the girlfriend.
Yeah.
And made an illusion world that he wasn't actually a Power Ranger and that they were together for a couple of days back together. I wanted to know if the cat gave the booty away. That's where my brain goes because like you haven't seen your girl in mad long. I think that you would want, you know.
Not him. Not Tyzon.
Angels are ill-equipped.
He's Ken doll.
Well, he does look like one too.
just like Mac. They're both Ken dolls.
So, basically, the worst thing of this show is Mac.
Mac, yeah. I'll say he's up there with worst Red Rangers.
He's probably the worst Red Ranger.
And sadly, because I like the Red Ranger suit, but
it's bad. And he makes Mystic Forces Red Ranger a little
slightly,
tiny bit cooler.
Slightly more tolerable.
Yeah, well, I can't say the word cool in Mystic Force Red Ranger.
Yeah, so I'm like
you
tolerable.
You turn your back on the fucking Rangers.
Yeah, tolerable. He's a bit more tolerable. But yeah, I'll say he's probably up there with the rest of Red Rangers. We still have more to go.
So, like, Andrew Harford actually made the Red Ranger suit to be him. He wanted to be the Red Ranger. If that's not a narcissistic bastard...
Yeah.
Because that's really, like...
It's Batman.
So, he wanted to... Yeah, and he had his Alfred.
Batman.
You know what I mean? Exactly. Let me get my Teen Titans together.
He probably had all the upgrades and all the specialties on his suit.
Yeah.
And then everyone else got the bare minimum.
And you guys use your attributes the way you guys are supposed to.
Exactly.
I mean, did you like the suit before the suit?
The
geese?
They didn't run bad. The
geese gave them powers.
Yeah.
That's the only cool part about it.
Do I remember their powers? Not really.
I think Ronnie was fast because she's a car racer.
That's
Mac is strong.
Not even. Yeah, Matt was android, so he was strong because he was an android.
I don't remember.
He didn't. I don't think he had a power because he was just an android.
You know, watching the show a second time back, I kind of saw the hints as it went.
Yeah.
But it would go over your head if it's your first time watching.
Mm-hmm.
It would go over your head. Like the one episode when they have to go through the portal.
Yeah.
And Tyzon is the only one, and that's the episode where he's bothering Rose, whatever her name is. And they have to go through the portal, and he's like, grab onto me so my energy can pass through you so you can get through this portal.
Yeah.
And stopped at Mac. That makes sense now. You know what I mean? But at the time, it's like, okay. It's just bad writing.
Yes.
I felt like Disney was tired of the shit. Like, I'm tired of Power Rangers.
And then, like, I think, what was it? Will was enhanced hearing and vision. So he pretty much fucking Wolverine.
Dumb.
Dax was... I don't fucking remember. Like, again,
Overacting?
Overacting.
Because he is an actor in it. He wants to be a stuntman.
Oh,
actor.
super agility.
What did he do that was agile?
He jumped really high.
They all did.
He did it outside the suit.
He did it with pizzazz.
He did it with pizzazz. He did it outside the suit though. Yeah, Ronnie was speed.
I tried so hard before we started this cast to think of the positive. But as I go,
I'm saving the positive
negative
for last.
just piles more and more and more and more. There's so many layers of bad.
And then genetic invisibility was Rose.
When did she ever use it?
Once.
So that is a flop.
So like my big thing is, couldn't they use that inside the suit? They couldn't use it inside the suit, the Power Ranger suits. Wouldn't you think that would actually help them more if they actually was able to use their powers inside the suits?
Or maybe have them like learn their powers as they go and amplify it and evolve.
Remember, Andrew wanted all the powers for him, and then the rest kind of string. Like he's Batman. Batman is a greedy bastard.
And then when his son hates him, it hurts his heart.
Man, Batman gave like the motorcycles because he got tired of riding them. He's like, oh, you can have that one.
I'm getting fucking rashes every time.
You can have that one.
You can have that one. These are all work in Alfred's business.
Even though he has like 3 new ones, he's like, you can have that one.
Wonder why Jason Todd got murdered so easily.
Because the fans voted to die.
Yeah, well, guess what? The fans should vote for all them.
Like, it wasn't Joker that murdered him. It was the fans that.
If I can MIB flash myself Operation Overdrive out of my consciousness, I would. So, as all negativity of what the cast, even the Megazords were very forgettable. And it's funny, watching the first episode of Sentai, the Megazord's already cool.
They were used as what they were supposed to be used for.
Like construction vehicles,
utility
vehicles.
The submarine actually went underwater.
This Zord in the first episode literally used a shovel.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, the shovel's a little corny. But then flipped the entire ground upside down.
Yeah.
So it knocked the thing, so it makes sense.
Yeah. So that's already cool and stuff. So the highlight My big highlight of this series, and it's probably the one thing besides the Sasquatch. Sasquatch was pretty funny, and I liked them a lot. The Yeti.
And this beer actually this IPA is getting a little bit better as I drink it.
Yeah, because we're going through the show.
Because we are talking so negatively, I think the beer is
the best thing of this show, and I honestly told you that. Like I was like 20 and 21 is going to be the best episodes, and honestly, those were. And even though I have my issues with the episodes, it was the best episodes, and is the Once a Ranger.
Yeah, I agree.
And
I actually watched them twice.
Yeah.
Because I did have problems with it as well.
And the thing is, we did have problems in the first cast too about them.
Yeah.
We liked the episodes, and we actually liked the way everything kind of went off.
But it doesn't make any sense.
And
none of it makes sense to me.
Yeah.
How is
I give credit to Bridge, because Bridge kind of explained it.
But it was still a bad thing because they're far in the future.
Yeah.
He should not exist at all.
He said the same thing. So Bridge actually explained it, and he was like, "I should not be here, but I'm here."
It's like a blimp in the Matrix.
Yes.
You know what
so
I mean?
he should he's
like, technically, I'm not born yet.
Yeah.
But I'm here, and then I was the Blue Ranger.
I was the Green Ranger, then I
became
Blue.
Then I became the Blue Ranger because of a bird and a dog went this, and then Sky went there. And
and then.
But you won't know this, so it's okay. It really doesn't matter.
I give that credit just the fact that Bridge explained it.
A comedic relief.
Yeah.
I was happy he got his toast.
Yeah,
me
too.
If he didn't get any toast in the episodes that he was in, I would have been really mad.
I actually was very happy, and then I was happy that he was the Red Ranger. I was like, yeah, I like Bridge as the Red Ranger.
I was happy to see Kira. Cool. I love Kira. She looked better as she ages. She looks very beautiful.
We can make this as the episode segment. But yeah, Once a Ranger, always the Ranger. Once a Ranger was probably the best 2 episodes. One thing I liked about it too, and it's something positive wise, is that it was a 2-parter.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Every time we get a big team up, it's one and done. It's never a building story. It's never going like that. Even the legend, like the last woman, he had the Ultramor, or the time he had the Ultramorpher. It was only 1 episode. Like, how are you gonna do that in 1 episode?
Yeah, no, it's dumb.
Expand it.
It doesn't. It's worth. To me, all team up should be like a 3-parter. I feel
3 to 5 parts.
You know what I mean? It should be a good chunk because they should want to stay around and do more.
Yeah.
You have a task.
Yeah.
Get this shit done.
Yeah.
Many hands make light work.
Yeah.
You will be able to defeat more if the other Rangers don't leave.
Yeah. So what the thing was, and it explains it too, is the fact that once the Rangers regained their powers, they had to eliminate their powers.
Yeah. What's funny to me is how easily they all hopped in and took the mantle. Like, all right, we're taking over for now.
Yeah.
And the other ones just gave up.
Yeah, they didn't try. They didn't even Honestly, they were like, "Oh, you go back." They just went back to their lives and shit. Yeah, but and that was something that kind of bothered me too. It's like y'all just gave up. Y'all didn't even try.
Like you wasted a lot of your time.
Yeah.
Because I think the show is within a 6-month range.
Yeah.
They're together for like 6 months.
Yeah. Not 5 days.
Yeah, not 5. Fucking fuck that rap, man.
But
And I said it in the first cast. The reason why they wanted the rap, because in Mystic Force they wanted the rap song, but it didn't work well with the theme of the show. So they turned Operation Overdrive into a rap song.
And it was just annoying because they kept saying Operation Overdrive.
And for a person who raps themselves.
Yeah.
If I ever met the person who wrote that, I'm like, you are trash because you obviously hated the show too.
Yeah.
You probably didn't like it at all.
But yeah, that was one of the best episodes. So pretty much, Lord Zed's and Rita Repulsa's son came in, which makes no sense because when they had the son, was he genetically made? Maybe Finster made him.
Yeah, but now.
So we just made that.
He mentions. That Rita and Zed became good.
Yeah.
When in all reality, they just became normal people. It doesn't matter about being good or bad. They just became normal people. So you don't know if they actually turned bad.
You know what could have happened? Bad. And this is us just making it up on that cast. What if Finster made him as a backup plan?
Like Was Finster bad at heart?
Because Finster didn't trust. Finster didn't trust Zed and her marriage.
Yeah, no, definitely.
And even in the comic, like if you even go into the Boom comics, he did some shady shit just to back up because he cared about Rita.
Yeah.
So he did shit on behalf of Rita to protect her. So that would be something that could have been cool if like Finster had him like made somewhere.
Yeah, like him.
And it was made out of something off of
just in case.
Yeah.
Zed corrupted Rita or something.
And
like
it was a backup plan, and it had Zed's and Rita's hair follicles or
I just wish there was
skin.
like a resemblance of them. The red on him? What's with the fucking horns? The tusks.
The tusk. He didn't get the proper.
It was like whoever designed that. They just was like, "Oh, we're gonna throw this together and throw this together." Like it was trash.
He looked like a custom toy. And then he had
I don't want Hasbro
he had like one half of a human face, and then the rest was like all Zed's body. So
at least have like some Rito Revolto in him.
But
you know what I mean? That would be
one
cool.
thing he did was team up all the fucking gangs to
he's like,
fight the Rangers.
My family's been through this before.
Yeah. And
we're gonna beat the Power Rangers, so let's get everybody together. Let's have a Justice League, an Injustice League.
Doom.
You know what I mean? Like
Legion of Doom.
But it wasn't good. And then he could have been an antagonist more, you know?
Yeah. I think he could have been more, but it was. But I liked the Rangers they picked. I liked I liked their scenes. I liked their plan. My only issue was, why couldn't they get the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers song for Adam?
Or how about Alpha 5's voice right?
Oh yeah, that too.
Because they brought Alpha 5 back.
Yeah.
And Alpha 5 was sleeping.
Yeah, he was.
And this is the first time that he went into Zordon's realm.
Yeah.
I remember that specifically.
Yeah.
I was like, he's like, oh, I've never been in this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At least they didn't bring back Ghetto Alpha 6.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm happy for that.
But I did like the presentations of the Rangers. I liked the ones they picked. I liked Adam. I liked Xander. I actually liked Xander. I thought Xander was an okay Ranger. I liked Kira. I liked it. Tori. We love Ninja Storm, so Tori was a great
Ninja
one.
Storm is
and I love Bridge. And I love Bridge. So I was very happy to see them. I was very happy that they teamed up. They looked really badass when they all stand together.
I think that was the most thought they put into the show was casting which Rangers to come.
Yeah, and then just Adam being the leader of this group and just kind of like
bringing back the Mastodon suit and not a Zeo suit.
Yeah, and I was very happy with that.
Or a Turbo suit. You know
because him as the black, I honestly will say, I liked him more as a Black Ranger than I liked, because Zach didn't have enough time.
Well, that's what happens when you feel like you're in servitude and not getting paid for your time.
Yeah.
Having 55 episodes, fucking an episode a week and not getting paid really good.
It's understandable.
I just wish they all band together, because then they probably would have got what they wanted. Instead of 3 of them, and then they all cast it out. You never know. Trini could still, whatever her name is, Quan, she could still be alive today if those series of events probably fucking changed. You know what I mean? You never know. That's in the multiverse of...
the multiverse of madness.
Yes. Multi-squirts.
Multi-squirts. Anyway.
Sidetracked.
Anyway. Yeah, so those are I'll say hands down, those are the 2 best episodes of the series.
But even those episodes still had a flat line.
Yeah, they had issues.
You know, it felt rushed. It felt
as a 2-parter, it still felt rushed.
Yeah, and
I feel like
they
those
didn't show up until the end of the first episode.
Yeah, but it makes sense though, because you had to see them lose and shit like that.
I like their suits.
Yeah, but I love the fuck that he used the battle axe and.
Yeah,
I will say that
I know you like the Overdrive shield that got transferred onto him, but it looked dumb on him.
Yeah, because it doesn't really fit him.
It wasn't fitting the suit.
Yeah. But I can see them making a figure of that.
I can see it more on Tori's outfit than anybody's.
But, yeah. Other than that, like, this series, there was not a lot of memorable episodes that I could really say that really took my attention. Maybe the last one just because it finished. I did like some of the fast morphing sequences. I'll say that. I did like when they just flashed into the morph.
The mid-morph is cool, and I've always been a fan of the mid-morph.
Anytime they do that. There was no helmet breakage, so that didn't impress me. I like when helmets break.
In my eyes, there should be more mid-morphs because that is more of a logical way of morphing instead of having this huge scene, which I love the fact that there was one episode where the monster was sitting there and they all morphed. And he's like, about fucking time you guys are done. You know what I mean? Like, that to me was cool because it acknowledged how I felt. Like, the monsters literally sat there and waited for them to morph. Like, can we get this shit going? Like, it's funny. I like that.
Yeah, I like when they
nod to that.
I always give credit to when they do the
the second to last episode, their mid-morphs while they were fighting was dope as fuck.
Yes, it was.
I will give... That is probably the best scene in the show to me.
I agree.
I hated the fact that Mac is an android. That is dumb as hell. It's so stupid. And then the tit for tat between him and his father, which is probably from episode 24, 25 and on. Yeah. So you have like a good 9 episodes of bickering back and forth. Yeah. I'm disposable. Oh, you don't care. I'm not a person anyway. Like, shut the fuck up. All right. You didn't know shit. You're 2 years old. You're acting like a brat. Yeah. Which makes sense. But then it turned into the fucking Pinocchio, and the last episode he became a real boy. It's dumb. Yeah. It's so dumb. Yeah. I can't utter that more. It's stupid. Yeah. Motherfuckers.
Before we go, so what would you rate this series? 1 of 5.
Realistic?
1 out of 5. Yeah.
Fucking 1.
Yeah, it's gonna get a 1.
You know, I will give it a 1.5 just because of the team up.
I'm staying a 1.
If I could give it a 0, I would. But
I can give it a 0.
No, you gave me the scale. The scale is 1 to 5.
Well, yeah, it'd be 1.
Like, I already know the Sentai is far superior.
In 2 episodes.
Far superior. So what I'm going to think in my head while I'm watching and enjoying the fuck out of Sentai, that why didn't they utilize what they did in like a lot of the recent seasons? Yeah. Where they take the storyline and use it. Yeah. Like almost to the T. Yeah. There's a formula that works. Sentai's been around since the 70s. There's a formula and it works. Yeah. You don't fix something that's not broken. Yep. But that's the classic westernized. Kids are dumb. Yeah. They're not gonna know.
But you also gotta realize also that the Sentai are not really made for kids, and we get this and it's made for kids.
Especially when you bitch smack somebody.
We got a bitch smack in the first episode. We got a ranger punching one in the face and a bitch slap.
Well, what happened was he fell off a cliff and he's hanging on and he saves them. Yeah. And then grabs him and pretends to throw him off the fucking thing and smacks him. I'm like, yes, I'm sold. You got me. You are a badass Red Ranger.
I laughed my ass off. It was great.
It was really good. And visually looked beautiful.
So, yeah. So, preview of our next cast with Bokujur, which is the Sentai version of Operation Overdrive. That will be our next cast for the MorphinCast. We may also have some comic reviews. We still have the Volume 2 and 3 that we're going to do. We're going to start doing them in 2, so Volume 4 and 5 we'll do. And they'll be in between, especially the Sentai ones, because the Sentais are quite long. So we'll give you a cast in between. So, other than the news of some of the Power Ranger stuff, I just kind of want to bring it up and just see, because we haven't really talked about it with Austin St. John.
Yeah, well, I watched his live video the other day. He did a live video. So apparently he's being accused of fraud. Yeah. Which I can attest to it. Yeah. Because this motherfucker, like, he's a stingy dude. Yeah. I don't care. I have no emotional attachment to you. Yeah. As a person nowadays.
Especially once I got introduced to Geki.
Like, he won't, like, I've seen him at Comic-Con. And
he's kind of a douche.
The way he reacts to people at Comic-Con, like, if you don't pay him to talk to him, like, he doesn't care. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I met Nikita. Yeah. Which was the Yellow Ranger in Turbo. Yeah. Right? And she came up to me and talked to me. I didn't ask for an autograph. I didn't ask for nothing, but we had a conversation. I lied to her face.
Yeah. Your favorite Yellow Ranger.
I said this so many times. But I'm happy at least, like, she acknowledges the fandom that's around it. Jason David Frank is he's the most appreciative out of everybody. You can tell because he really cares about the shit.
Johnny Young Bosch too.
Well, but he also has anime fans.
Yeah.
I think he's probably more famous in anime than he is in Power Ranger fandom.
I think he still has the Power Ranger fandom, but again, he does a lot of work.
Exactly. I'm pretty
that dude
sure
works
that
his ass off.
In Japanese culture, he's pretty.
He's also in a lot of American shows that he talked main characters, stuff like that. Jake the Dragon and shit like that he talked.
But Austin St. John, I remember watching videos of him selling stuff on Facebook.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, you can buy these figures from me. Da da da. I got them all. But for an extra charge, I'll sign it for you." No, you already have it.
Yeah.
Just sign it and send it to me, man.
Yeah.
Don't tell me you're going to charge me extra.
So, yeah.
I wonder what the fraud actually is, though. I didn't really dive
into
it.
I think Jason David Frank actually posted something about it. And he posted something about it being part of a contract they have with the Power Ranger characters that they join cons and stuff. And but then Mike was telling me last week, shout outs to Mike Louis Beans, our producer, that it was the COVID funds, like donations and stuff like that, and he was taking money off of the COVID code.
He wasn't making any money.
Yeah, so that's where the fraud came from, was for the COVID frauds.
I watched him do a live video, and it's just him reading off people's names, wishing him the best, saying like, "Oh, they got my back," and he's like, "I'm gonna beat this." I'm like, I kind of think you're guilty, bro.
So, all right, I'll say something. Like, Jason was one of my favorites especially when I was growing up. Red Ranger was always one of my favorites.
It's nostalgia, being a real person.
So when I met him, I think he was part, like, you know when they say when you meet your heroes, sometimes
you don't want to meet your heroes because you'll be disappointed.
Yeah, I met Jason David Frank. I actually had dinner with Jason David Frank. I had worked with him, and he was nothing but amazing. I met Kat. I met Johnny.
We don't like Kat as.
But she's sweet. She was sweet.
Well, because I would hope so.
Yeah, I met Amy Jo Johnson. I met David Yost. I met Zach. I met a bunch of the Rangers that throughout my time, and like just joining the cons and stuff like that, and they've all been nothing but nice. Him, on the other hand, was kind of a douchebag. The first time I met him, he was actually cool, and then the second time when I went to get something signed and shit like that, he had an attitude, and he was just like signing and just fuck. He didn't even interact, and it was like, alright.
When I went to Comic-Con, and I sat on a line for 3 hours to meet Jason David Frank, the first 10 minutes of being on that line in the back of it, I met him already. Yeah. Because he ran down.
But that's how he is.
Said hello, shook my hand, how you guys doing? And then an hour and a half into the line, I met him again. Yeah. And then I told him, he's like, how you doing, bud? I'm like, yo, I'm shot. I'm fucking tired. I just got out of work. He's like, and then he's like, yo, he grabbed my hand and raised it up. He's like, we're going to do this together. I'm fucking tired, too. I'm like, I fucking love you, man. You were the truth. So when I got up to him and I gave him a gift. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, you were a god to me. I just want you to know that and thank you because, like, you deserve the praise. I won't even pay to go see Austin St. John. No. I'm sorry. I walked past his booth at Comic-Con. Now, he wasn't in, like, the artist alley.
Nah,
in, like, the place where you actually go and visit people, like Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair and stuff like that. He was in the cellar vendor's room with a table just randomly sitting there with Ashley. Yeah. And you can just see this smug look on his face when people walk up, like, oh, it's Austin St. John. And they're like, here, you want a picture? They're like, no. And he's like, kind of like brushed them off, like, get out of here, bro. Like, motherfucker, you wouldn't be shit without us. Yeah. There was a long time where that generation of Power Rangers died out. Yeah. They weren't known anymore. Nobody gave a shit. Yeah. And now as pop culture grows and the Power Rangers are alive again because of cons, you should be kissing everybody's fucking feet, bro. Because we just amped up your bank account. You know what I mean? Yeah. We just gave you a job. for the rest of your life, you can just go to cons and make appearances, and people will pay to see you.
Yeah.
You be grateful for that shit.
Yeah. So,
I remember him at Comic-Con talking shit about Jason David Frank.
Yeah.
Because Jason David Frank was getting more love.
Well,
Rightfully so.
Yeah, he was like one of the first really, well, honestly, Bosch was the first, like, in Comic-Cons all the time because, again, he voice acted and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So he was the first, like, Ranger that was always at cons. Green Ranger started doing it after he started doing his, he was still doing MMA, but he wasn't doing it as much.
Yeah, he started doing training at dojo.
Yeah. He always had a dojo.
He trained with, he trains a lot with the Red Ranger from Time Force.
Yeah.
They train a lot together.
Yeah, Wes.
All the time.
Yeah, him and then, but him and John Young Bosch is friends as well. They still really close together. Anyway, yeah. So that's happened and it's going well.
So he's facing up to 20 years in jail.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens.
You think that he's? I don't know.
I don't know, man.
You think his fandom will grow going to jail getting street cred?
Right? He'll come out with a rap album.
Dude, because the first thing he said to me was, "Hold on tight to that Red Ranger Comic-Con fucking Hasbro bag."
Yeah.
Because that's gonna go up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's already worth like $400.
That's like the highest grossing one of the Lightning Collection.
Hasbro hasn't announced a Comic-Con toy yet. Exclusive.
They have been quiet as of late, which is good, and still gives us time. But it's also like they're catching up with a lot of the pre-orders and stuff.
Yeah, because one day your bank account is this, the next day your bank account is like $100 and something gone, and you're like, fuck, what the hell?
I think I stopped everything besides the Megazord.
It's becoming a little too much, man. Like we both equally agree the exclusive stuff get immediate.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be hard to get. All the other stuff, they're still on the shelves at Target. Yo, the Ninja, I would think the Ninja ones would sell?
Nah.
The Ninja ones are just sitting there hanging.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for them to all be on sale. I'm not going to spend $24 on a figure. I'll spend $9.95.
You know what's funny about the Ninjas? And this is something I know from because I follow a lot of...
I kept my Finster pre-order, though. And Finster's
I have Finster. Yeah. I kept that one. Yeah. Finster's fucking dope. So he's right behind the Deadpool.
I still want to get my Zed helmet, though.
They actually had it in Forbidden Planet.
Yeah, I know, but it's probably like $100 and something.
Same price as
Exactly. I don't want to spend that money.
Yeah, it was the same price as the GameStop.
How the fuck am I carrying that shit? Well, it's in a box.
You just wear it.
I go to the Star Wars convention.
Just wear it. Just rock it, and then see if they have the lightsaber. We use Lord Zed as a Sith Lord.
He's like the father of Darth Maul.
Yo, you should do that for Comic-Con. Get the helmet and put like a Sith Lord, and just had the Z sticking out.
It's actually it's a hybrid.
You get one of them little $10 lightsabers.
I'm alright with the dressing up at Comic-Con. I did that once, and I ain't never gonna do it.
Anyway,
which I will be attending the New York City Comic-Con.
Yeah.
On the Saturday, I think it's October 8th.
Yeah.
So I will be there promoting our cast and my other cast that I just recently started as well.
Yeah. So Lightning Collection, we've been kind of slowing down on it. I think only one series came out, like, and the Ninjetti ones.
I think the world feels our pain.
Yeah.
Like, it's too much, man.
I did see the Lone Wolf, and he actually looked pretty cool. The Lunar Wolf. Yeah. I actually liked the way he looked, so I was like, all right, if I run past him, I'll grab him. But I'll wait till most of these.
I kept all my later in the year pre-orders, just in case.
I just took everything out.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. The only thing I kept was that Megazord.
I just recently had to move, and I couldn't.
Yeah, 100%.
Really,
you had to update your pet ledgers and all that shit, so that makes sense.
But everything is still obtainable.
One thing I will say that I'm very happy that we got was the Turtle Rangers.
Yeah. I'm very happy.
Those are badass looking. Yeah, those were badass looking. And probably some of the best Hasbros that we got.
Yeah, no, the concept of it is dope. And they had that crossover in the comic book, which was really good.
Yeah. So I was really happy with those. I know a lot of people bought the Raph and Tommy. They bought that one multiple times to make an army of foot soldiers.
Oh, that's cool.
They took out Tommy's head and just made an army of foot soldiers. And I was like, you could have just did that with a cheaper toy, right?
Well, Tommy Shredder. Casey Jones is the foot soldier.
No, it's Tommy. Tommy Oliver. Tommy Oliver is the foot soldier, and then
No, because it's the Green Ranger.
no, Shredder is the Green Ranger.
Yeah, I understand.
No, it's a Wukusaki. That's the.
Oh well, I didn't open the thing up, so I don't know.
No, it's a Wukusaki. He is the Shredder, and then the Red Ranger is Tommy. No, the foot soldier is Tommy. Because you remember, he tries to become a foot soldier to get close to the Green Ranger.
Well, that's actually a really good idea.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, we'll wrap this up. This is the MorphinCast. Thank you for listening. You can listen to our podcast on Red Cycling on Spotify. Is the easiest way to get our cast. Follow me on Instagram, Tumblr, Twitter, YouTube, SoundCloud, and Twitch TV. Or Mark with the Mic. Follow Red Cycling Inc. on YouTube, SoundCloud, Twitch, Tumblr, and WordPress. All Red Cyclone Inc. And follow Tenacious T.
Yes, you can follow me at Tenacious T RC Inc. on Twitter. You can also follow me on my personal own Instagram page, tots_goobop, which is the handle that I am under on my own podcast of the Popcorny podcast, where we talk about all pop culture stuff throughout time and current events and stuff like that, which the Merc of the Mic will be a continuing recurring guest on that one.
Yep.
Shouts out to my co-host Sriracha, aka my boy Jeremy, for that one. We also got a Popcorny podcast Instagram page at Popcorny1975. You can go and check that page out, where we just put like comic books and pop culture stuff all day. Go and check that out. Always a shouts out to Game On, retro video game store based out on Long Island in 3 separate locations, one in Miller Place, one in Patchogue, and one in Smithtown, satisfying all your retro video game needs. Also, they have the Game On Arcade, which is located in Lake Grove, Smith Haven Mall. Go in there. It's fun for all generations of family, and it's a dope time.
If you are listening to it live on YouTube now, if you buy anything over $100, you get a free pass for the arcade.
What's up?
If you go to any of the Game On locations for Memorial Day, if you spend $100, you get a free pass to the arcade.
Hey man, the last couple of days, the Game On place, the arcade was free.
Yeah.
They just had a pretty dope promotion of Stranger Things.
Yes, they did.
Themed thing, which I thought was actually pretty cool.
Yeah,
I gotta talk to Tristan. I haven't talked to him in a little bit. I've been kind of busy, so.
Yeah. So I saw their sale this weekend. So if you go any of the locations on with the Game On locations to buy some video games, spend $100 and you get a free arcade pass for the Smith Haven Mall. So check that out.
Yes. Shouts out to Mind of an Artist. Designed the Popcorny logo. Go to his logo page. He made a logo page.
Yeah, I don't remember it.
Logos and stuff. We'll put the link.
Go to Mind of the Artist. I think he has his links on there.
Also, check out his page, Drugs and Demons. It's his own personal clothing line. Shouts out to Jerry, very talented, close friend of ours. Show some love. Not enough love in the world.
Or send him a middle finger.
Yeah, tell him to go fuck himself and tell him I said.
As long as you follow him, he don't care. All right, peace.